Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, I bring you a scene no one expected from an actor as composed and charismatic as Yaman. This time, there were no studio lights, no script, no filters, just raw, real, heartbreaking emotion. And everything, strangely, revolved around a suitcase. Can was waiting. Minutes passed and Sara didn't show up. Messages went unanswered, promises faded into excuses, and anxiety turned into disappointment. It wasn't just about being late. It was about everything that had silently built up. That day, it wasn't a fight that broke out. It was a truth that had been simmering beneath the surface. When he finally got tired, he expressed it with a gesture louder than words. He threw the suitcase to the ground. It wasn't a childish tantrum. It was an emotional statement. That object, a symbol of so many meetings, goodbyes, and reconciliations, lay open and scattered, just like his soul. And Can didn't try to hide it. He said nothing. He just walked away with firm steps, leaving behind what he could no longer carry. Those who were there watched in silence. Some called him impulsive, others saw an exhausted man. But clearly, something inside him broke. Because when you live under the spotlight with everyone watching and judging, even the strongest get tired. And Can, always passionate, allowed himself to feel, in public. Sara arrived a few minutes later, but he was already gone. Only the echo of what had just happened remained. They say she asked questions, looked for answers, but sometimes when silence has spoken, there's nothing more to say. That moment was more than an outburst. It was the signal of a break that could no longer be hidden. The public was divided. Some saw strength, others saw burnout, but everyone understood one thing. Can couldn't take it anymore. The differences with Sara, once charming, had become gaps. He was fire, she was ice, and in between, a love story that was losing color. That day, the suitcase didn't just carry clothes. It carried promises, hopes, and farewells. No need to shout. The sharp thud against the ground said it all. It was a scene of surrender, the silent goodbye of someone who no longer wants to insist. While the media filled hours with theories and fans debated online, he stayed silent, as always. Because there are pains you can't explain. You just feel them. And Can showed them without masks, with his body, with his gestures, with that final walk without looking back. Perhaps the saddest part wasn't the anger. It was resignation. That moment when you realize what you've been waiting for just isn't coming. And so you let go, not with words, but with actions. With a suitcase left behind in the middle of nowhere, the witness of a story that might have ended. The truth, only they know it. But we witness something braver than any statement. A man showing his pain without filters. And that, my friends, is unforgettable. I often wonder if we really understand what it means to be a woman like Demet Özdemir. It's so easy to judge from afar, to comment on her choices, to interpret her actions as if we had the right to decide for her. But the more I observe her path, the more I realize Demet is not just an artist. She is a woman who has learned to stand tall in a world full of expectations, criticism, and pretense. Many were quick to condemn her for moving away from Yaman, as if she had betrayed an eternal love. But very few stopped to think about what it means to be Demet in a world that demands constant perfection, where a woman is expected to endure, never fail, and smile even when she's exhausted. She chose her peace, her well-being. She chose to take care of herself, and that, even if it bothers some, is an act of bravery. They've called her all sorts of things: cold, calculating, selfish. They accuse her of abandoning a genuine relationship, of thinking only of herself. But what if the truth is more complex? What if she realized that staying would only hurt her? Sometimes love doesn't build, and she realized it in time. What I respect most is how she handled the chaos. While others made noise, she answered with silence. She didn't fall for provocation, didn't share her version with the press, didn't play the victim. She moved forward with her head held high and her heart steady. That's not coldness, that's strength. Many can't stand that she moved on, that she's smiling again, focused on new projects. They cling to that perfect couple image that once captivated us, and they struggle to accept that some stories end. But a woman's joy should never depend on someone else's nostalgia. If Khan is stuck in the past, that's his journey. Demet chose to move forward. I've read cruel, poisonous comments. Some even say she's lost her mind, that she's not the same. And of course she isn't. She's grown, matured, rebuilt herself. Only someone who has suffered knows how hard it is to rise again without bitterness, with dignity. Today, I see her as the clear face of the modern woman, a woman who leaves when something hurts her, who chooses herself without guilt, who prefers solitude over settling, a woman who, despite social judgment, chooses to be real. And I get why women like her bother people, because they don't cry on camera, don't beg for love, don't stay silent anymore. But they are the ones who leave a mark, who draw a line between before and after. And if that hurts, it's because there are still those who can't accept that self-respect is not arrogance, it's survival. To those who criticize her mercilessly, I say this: before you speak of her, look at your own lives. Because Demet doesn't live to please anyone. She lives for herself. And that, to me, is the most admirable thing of all. To me, Demet Özdemir is at a crossroads. She can continue feeding the drama and lose even more credibility, or she can take a step back, be honest with herself, and return to the path that made her famous through hard work and talent. The choice is hers, but the public is already tired of lies and masks. What fans want to see is a strong, dignified, and authentic woman, not a figure surrounded by rumors and theatrics. In conclusion, although I respect her work and acknowledge her talent, I believe Demet should deeply reflect on how she's managing her public life and what message she wants to leave behind. Because in the end, it's truth and humility that endure, not spectacle or lies. If she wants to regain the respect and admiration she once had, she must step away from the scandals and show the real person behind the public figure. Only then can she rebuild her image and perhaps find the peace she seems to be seeking amidst so much noise.